Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the interbubs. This is Zyma Diggity Bed coming at you live in another Minecraft episode on the Pixelated Pickaxe server. Today, we're going to start with a bit of a tour of the world, so let's sleep and I'll show you around this place. I think we'll start with my first base here on the server. You know, my day one hovel. So let's head off down that way. So we started this world during Update Aquatic because we wanted to experiment with some of the new features, and our previous 1.12 world was, well, getting a little slow. Wasn't a lot of activity. And I came out and I set up this little base here. And it was a little house, you know, there was a mine nearby. Not much. Some chests, enchanting table on the top floor. Not a whole lot here. Had a horse pen, which no longer has horses in it. Somewhere down here, I think I had my first mine. It's all the way down there. And that's where I began. But that quickly turned into, well, not really having a plan, not having a purpose. And so I just started planting wheat. And I kept planting wheat. And carrots. And potatoes. And beetroot. And pretty quickly we updated to the 1.14 snapshots and I planted bamboo. Pumpkin. Melon. I even went through here on this little forest on this hill. And I replaced logs with jungle log. Planted a bunch of cocoa beans. So that's where it's all began. Meanwhile, over here, where there is now a bunch of trees, was a sunflower field got built. And this little house right here, I'm about to land on, this was Burrow Dizzy's house. This is what he was building. We had some cows, other things. That's about it. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you right here. This was our day one starter hut. You can tell from the hodgepodge of materials that it is very much a day one hut. And then right over here, we planted some wheat for food, some sugarcane to try and get enchanting equipment. That's where it all began. Quickly, it became pretty obvious that we needed some sort of a project. And so, me and Burrow Dizzy decided, in the vein of Wellstown Civilization, one of the rather ironically named worlds we played on, because, well, there was a grand total of about 3 builds on that server, but one of them was the Mega Lodge. And so we decided to build another Mega Lodge. And the whole point of a Mega Lodge, you see, is you just kind of keep building extensions and add-ons and tunnels, and you don't plan any of it out, and it's all different build styles, and it just keeps going. And so this right here, this is the current extent of Mega Lodge. And as you can see, there's all sorts of different things around it. Meanwhile, we also started building more houses here. And we decided that we would build a village. So we built houses. Most of them pretty similar. A few different build palettes. We designed a wall. Go all the way around the outside of the village. Around this nice valley here. And this is New Tonyville. Aptly named because on our third world, Pixelated Pickaxe, New Wellstown, we had a village of villagers named Tonyville. So let's just go into the lodge here. This is kind of a main entrance. This is what I worked on first day. First part of the lodge. Pretty basic. And we come up here and you can see it's immediately a different build style. This is what Burrow Dizzy was working on. This area here. And then this is part, you know, above where I was building. Nice little view, of course, here. Our enchanting setup. Quite nice. And we can come up out top here. And here is our first tower. You can climb up here. And we had a bell up here, but villagers kept getting attracted to it and getting stuck up here. So we removed the bell. But here we've got a nice little watchtower. We can look out over the village. So we can come out there. And we can also go across into this main area, this green part of the building. And so up here, we've kind of got a, decorative library. Got a little office chair here. Can write in our diary right there. But I also ended up installing a bit of an auto smelter. It's pretty small. It's only these 6 furnaces. And I had to really pack it in tight, which is why there's these trapdoors here. Obviously, I didn't want to have full blocks here because that would really limit the space. And so what we can do here is we've got a minecart, put things in the minecart. Down here, we've got another minecart. That's where we can put fuel. Let's go empty that fuel out. And then our cooked items end up in this chest here. Everything can get hidden away. It's quite nice. Head up here. It's kind of an empty area. Had an AFK fish farm here for a while. A little bit of a balcony to look out. Not a whole lot here other than our illager banners. So we can come down here. And we come down to our storage area. And so we've got the tower of workbenches, our jukebox, and music discs, anvil, other things. And this has been our main storage, and it has mostly satisfied. So that was kind of that extension. Now, I should keep going this way. I love secret painting entrances. The man actually indicates that. That's where you're supposed to go. So this is underneath the green part. Ended up putting in a little flour dye farm here. You can use dispensers with bone meal. Get your dye. And this door leads right back out to here. All connects out. Oh, and you know what I should show you? The best infinite water source. It's beautiful. If you know how that works, leave a comment. And then this is our makeshift concrete maker. And this is, well, it was a mine, and then it became our access to Slime Farm and other farms, now known as the Newtonieville Economic Development Area. You saw last episode. This is my little bedroom. Got some extra armor here, my bed, barrel. So we can come out here. And then we added on further. Little area. And one of my favorite builds on the server still is this leaning tower. So this whole tower is built at, I believe, about a 30-degree angle. Up here we actually have our banner area. And this is a naturally filled cauldron open to the sky. I thought that was a clever use of this building. And so the idea here is that at some point, long before remembered history, some ancient peoples lived here. This leaning tower. So the leaning tower kind of meets up over here, kind of comes down. We also come over here. This has been a couple different things, but right now it's actually Church of the Big-Nosed Villager. You can kind of see it in the stained glass there. A villager with a very, very large nose. And of course we can come over here. Just another little window area. We got a bed. And this is a miniature recreation of Burrow Dizzy Estate. Burrow Dizzy Estate was Burrow Dizzy's base in Wellstown Metropolis. We've got the potato computer, of course. Some small basement. This area is not quite finished yet. And of course, we can just keep going. This is an entrance to the main floor of the church here. Then we can come down, and here are our stables. So we're using rails because mobs don't like crossing them. That holds in the horses and mules and things quite nicely. We don't actually use them ever. Not quite sure why we have so many, but we do. This door opens all the way up, wide enough to get horses through, and it comes outside the wall, because what use is a horse inside the village? You want to be outside the village. But of course, the best part of this door is you can barely tell it's there. I actually have pistons right here I need to activate because there isn't really any room for redstone back there. But it opens up and it's quite seamless. I quite like it. Now, of course, one of our most recent additions is something that's taking advantage of one of the data packs we have on the server, and that is extra mob heads. As you can see, we've collected a few mob heads here, even player heads. And then, you know, because why not? Secret entrances. There's a mumbo-jumbo designed hidden staircase entrance. And this comes right back up to the flower farm. We can come over here, and you think, well, where haven't we been? We haven't been to the potion area. We've got different potions that we can semi-automatically brew. These droppers here, they have different ingredients, and we can do up to 6 different ingredients, which is kind of the most you'd ever need, which is pretty nice. And you can just automatically brew here. Like someone tried to brew without... Oh, interesting. Now we can take these potions of strength out. You get refilled back here. Put them back here. And then we'll just automatically brew 3 more potions of strength. So this is quite nice. Our nether warts just planted around. We can refill our water bottles with this right here. And so that's most of the Mega Lodge here. The village itself has lots of stands, as you've seen. We've got many automatic farms underneath the village, delivering things into the different stalls. And there's a secret entrance here into the downstairs area. It drops right out on that staircase. It goes down to the mines and the farms. I suppose, you know, let's start over here. Let's go to the gate. Actually a pretty neat trick here. We have scaffolding going down. We really only need 1 layer, but done 3 because why not? And mobs will actually see that as a drop, even with a carpet on it, because mobs don't really see carpets as a block. And so zombies and creepers and skeletons won't come in, and villagers won't go out. And yet we can just walk by. And when you come into the village from that direction, we're first greeted by the bakery. This bakery is actually an XP vault. Let's see, do any of my tools need healing? I guess my pickaxe. I'll take off some of my armor here. We'll just take that out. You'll notice I just got enough XP to heal that up. This is using, I believe it's an Il Mango design. Zuma was showing it off in one of his episodes. System behind there. And that's fed by a cactus farm underneath the ground. We can come in here, and we also got some butchers that work in here. So most of these buildings in this town are either homes with beds for the villagers, or other places for them to work. And this is the town hall. Not quite sure why we have illager banners up. We're greeted by Anthony here. But let's first go into the courtroom. This is our courtroom. We have yet to have a court case in here, but pretty good place, you know, if we ever need to have a court case. So this is the witness stand here, of course. And then the judge is up there. This is the jury area. Quite nice. And then there's kind of a back entrance here for the jury and the judge to come up. And this actually goes down into a basement, which is a little bit unfinished here, but we would have, you know, a judge office, jury area, and we're hoping to have a jail down here as well. So let's just head back up here. This area is kind of blocked off because there's some open caves, so we don't really want villagers getting down there, although they could through the other door. So this is just kind of the other direction. This is our mapping and cartography area. So here we go. This is the entire Cassius Nova Island. This is our spawn island here, and we're kind of including this central southern island here as part of Cassius Nova. So you can see up there, there's the village. You can see where the map is here, the town hall and everything. My original home, starter home, was down here, and you can see the farms I built around it. This is Canal Town, which we might go and visit later. We have a large desert here. And then our rail network extends all the way down to Bestux's area down here, where he's got a portal-based gold farm, which you can just see the black there. And then over here, this is where the Swift-Click has been building, his original base, and now his giant museum, which is kind of cool. Looks like we might need to bring a couple maps over there and update it sometime soon. So this is kind of our cartography area. Cartographers come and work here. And we actually keep an active map of the whole island. In here, this is something I've been working on and off, is our library. So this is basically our trading hall, is the whole village. But we especially want to keep our villagers for mending and other books. So our librarian's here. How did you get in here? You don't belong. All the rest of these guys, we want to keep them pretty safe. and pretty easy to access. So they all are stuck in here. We're once again using the carpet over a scaffolding drop. Oh, how did you get in there? There's another one there. They're not supposed to be able to get in there. You may have come down here if someone left it open. We've got multiple levels, so we can actually cordon them off in specific levels and remember where they are, which is quite nice. There's a third level here, and a fourth level, and then I plan on building an observatory at the top. And then we also have a beacon here, which is quite nice. We come up these stairs here, and we can kind of see the top part of the map a little better. You can see the village here a little better. And then we also have a map of the surrounding area that we've been building. We're not quite finished yet. It takes quite a long time to explore these all. And we've actually got location of different bases and areas marked off with banners here. We'll have to go and see some of them. We haven't finished this yet, but it's a slow process. And then up here, we have a makeshift post office here. Of course, we've got some more stalls out here. These are quite nice. Then we can come over here. This is our blacksmith. We've got several different tool locations, masons, armorers, toolsmiths, and apparently a lot of iron golems. Not sure why they get stuck in here. Or you, Mr. Fisherman. You don't belong here. So they can come in here, they can work. We've bought some nice cheap armor and tools from these guys, which is a pretty great way to get diamond gear. And then this is the tavern. JC, or Spoiled Bio, built this. And I helped him with the design and building. We basically did it in a day. It's modeled after the prancing pony from Lord of the Rings. We've got, you know, our beer on tap here. We've got our kegs. Got some stuff on shelves. Quite a nice little area. And if we come up here, we've got another whole level. We've got our nice long tables here. And we've actually got a bell, so some villagers come and gather here in the evenings. And this actually connects up to the top of the wall, which is kind of cool. Because the wall over here actually comes up out of the village, whereas around most of the village, it sort of acts as a barrier, holding the ground in. You can come over here. That there is Jared Cat's house that he built near spawn here. And we kind of built out to it, which is nice. And this over here is our lumber mill. So we've kind of got a log going over these stone cutters. They come through. Got some logs over here. And for some reason, all of the animals in the village, they kind of like getting stuck over here. For a while, the iron golems and villagers did too, but they don't seem to care anymore. But all of these animals, they just sit over here. I don't know why. It's a little bit weird. Over here, we've got the farming area. This is technically a farm that we can, you know, flood out here, but it's also mostly just for the villagers. And apparently they've taken to beetroot, which is interesting. Because I thought they were doing carrots. That's most of the village here. We do have our nether portal entrance down here. Kind of goes underground. We'll get there at some point here. So let's continue on here. Now that it's day again. Out here is actually where our spawn was moved to. This is a exact recreation, block for block, except for these chests and signs here, of the original spawn gazebo built on the first Pixelated Pickaxe World, Wellstown Classic, by Nathan Wells. Block for block recreation, torches and everything. Out here, we've got the starts of a little fishing village area. It's not really been worked on a lot recently. I kind of haven't had a whole lot of inspiration with it, but we've got a few little buildings built and a nice dock. So at some point, I kind of want to build this as sort of the village's fishing area. So that's that part of the island there. Let's continue down the path. Actually, we'll just fly up over here. We've got a lovely ravine on this side of the village here, and we've filled it entirely in with water. This is kind of exciting, and it's actually a double ravine in parts. Down over here, this ravine goes all the way down into another ravine. Quite exciting. Buro Dizzy is building Burco over here, and he started with giant military warehouse. The remnants of an old village breeder over here and a couple of librarians that are still trapped. On the way out here, you've got this, which is the maze entrance to Spoiled Bio's treehouse. I don't really want to go through it right now because it is quite complicated. Ooh. But the treehouse is kind of cool. I've helped him with some of the design part of it. Got the little house. Some of it's built, but we still need a lot more leaves. Build out some of the inside. It's modeled loosely after the Adventure Time treehouse. And then we'll come over here. So this here is the chicken bucket, which is, again, mostly a block-for-block recreation of the chicken bucket built on a previous world. Chicken Bucket 2, operated by Burko. And I think we've had a few visitors that maybe got food poisoning. So I don't think I have any emeralds here, but you can stick an emerald here and you get cooked chicken. It's kind of cool. It's kind of the only real shop we have on the server. We can continue along this path here. This is the humble abode of Gus Griswold, Cluck Avenue 2nd. And of course, you can see our rail line here. Rail line connects up several parts, 3 locations along this island here. The main village there. And then it connects up near the farms and all the way at Best Tux's place. So we'll come in here. This is the starts of Canal Town. Gus Griswold has been pioneering this effort, building up the canals and the roads and several of the houses here. And then here, you can see that Burko has moved in, built a headquarters. Burko office in Canal Town. And then this was a collaboration I did with the SwiftClick. It is a recreation of 221B Baker Street from Sherlock Holmes. Some of the inspiration comes from different iterations, but the interior primarily was inspired by the Sherlock show on BBC, and we may have also done this. And then in here, we've made substantial use of armor stands. We have a data pack on the server that allows us to modify armor stands. We can come in here, and this is Mrs. Hudson's room. And we've got her kitchen here. We've got a little broom closet, which is actually the hidden entrance to the note blocks. But of course, as any Sherlock fan knows, the real gem is up the stairs and into Holmes and Watson's abode. If you've seen the Sherlock show, you will know that it's a pretty good recreation of it in Minecraft, given our space constraints. We've got all sorts of stuff littered on the table here, the head centered in the wall, more things in the corner. We're still missing a skull. We want to get another skeleton skull to put up there. Unfortunately, we don't have any. A couple chairs here, and then the kitchen. Quite happy with the kitchen here too. Got a little cupboard with supplies in it. Got the fridge, which we also want to add a zombie head or something in there. Little nod to the show. And then just different things. All dirty in here. And then we can continue on to the 3rd floor here. 3rd floor contains what would usually be on the 2nd floor, which would be Sherlock Holmes's room. Kind of built that up here, as well as a small bathroom. Nice tub here. Just kind of the space constraints, this is where it made sense. And then we ended up with enough room for an attic. And so, there's a small attic up here as well. It's quite nice. I think from here, it makes the most sense to continue on to Best Tux's area and his gold farm. And so you can see the rail network continues all the way across the desert into the savannah here, where we are having a few chunk loading issues. And as a nod to his mushroom skin, we have replaced all of his cows with mushrooms. So the rail line actually comes right in here to the gold farm. You can see the portals over there. And his door's missing. Well, that's unfortunate. So the rails come up in there, and we can head down to the killing chamber. And this has been a source of much gold on the server. And it was at one point our best XP farm, although we now have better XP farms. Well, it looks like we've gotten a couple of pigmen here. They don't seem to be spawning very fast, but pretty easy to kill here, and we get lots of gold flowing in. Not the greatest farm I've ever seen, but it works quite well. We've gotten a lot of rotten flesh from it too, which we've been able to trade for emeralds with the villagers. Well, now we've seen most of Cassius Nova, the main spawn island. We won't go and visit everyone's base here, but I think it may be worth going and visiting a few of the places that I have set up mob farms around. So we shall go up to the northwest to Imco Mob Services, Imco Guardian Services, and not labeled on the map, but somewhere up right about there, Imco Inc. And we're here, just as my tea is ready. Delicious. Just get right here and take a little sip. Cream of Earl Grey. Well, here we are at Imco Inc. Up there is the AFK spot. Lovely, built out of dirt and other such things. We can come down here. We can hopefully spot. Well, there aren't any squids in here right now, but we have Bob and Bob, the guardians that serve to slaughter the squids as they come in. Squids aren't affected by bubble columns, and guardians aren't affected by magma blocks, so they are affected by bubble columns. But what this does do is stop salmon spawning, which is quite nice, and it also sucks the drops to the bottom where they're easy to collect. So it works out relatively well. It is not the greatest ink farm, but it serves its purpose. Ah, here we are. Imco Guardian Services. This is as yet uncompleted build, but progressing along nicely, although there's much work to be done here at the item sorting. This is a very lovely little Guardian farm based loosely off of the one Iskal built in Hermitcraft. So here we collect all sorts of wonderful goodies, which usually backs up quite quickly. And then in here, we can close these fence gates, and then they will fall down here instead of dying. Open up these trapdoors and use them for experience. It's quite nice. I still need to put stuff in these center plates here, and I also need to finish these corner towers. I have not yet quite decided on the look I want for them. I need to build up a central area here. The dirt here was used to get those guardians out I used in the ink farm. And then I need to come out and finish the exterior. You can see I've finished some sides, but other sides are still mostly sand, which was used to fill this all in with water. So it's quite a large project. Ah, and as I'm flying by, I've spotted Queen Kwanzaa's lovely little house here. Queen Kwanzaa, Rob, Real Brick, the Taciturn. Hard to keep his name straight. This is quite a beautiful little build here. Quite wonderful. We'll have to come and do a full tour of it someday. We can maybe make our way to the end portal. Go through the stronghold. Be quite a nice place to visit. There are some wonderful things built out in the end as well. We fought the dragon a few times here, but we haven't gotten all of the end island portals yet. I really do quite like the way this shader makes the end look, though. It is quite nice. So if we fly out over here, see, we've got a little entrance right here, water drop and a water elevator. And then a lovely leaf path out here, which we can fly into. And I apologize to your ears, but this is our Enderman farm. And my inventory is going to be full of ender pearls. This is one of the fastest experience farms in the server, though in a jiffy, the bakery in New Tonyville is faster for some things. There we go. All our tools and armor filled up. Our entire inventory full of ender pearls. This is our little enchanting area here. Now, before we go to Imco Mob Services, I do believe that there was some mail that may be relevant to the situation. I think I received a piece of mail, yes. Formal complaint by the SwiftClick. To whom it may concern, I, a loyal patron of Imco Mob Services, am greatly disappointed in the abundance of hostile mobs outside of the machine. In only one day, 2 creepers nearly killed me, while subsequently taking a piece out of the surrounding area. Both the portal and the storage facilities were damaged in one visit. I request that Imako confronts this issue, and I have a few suggestions. Either a bed is applied in the AFK area to get rid of mobs before descent, or the area is lit up. Please address this issue before more damage occurs. Signed, the swiftiest click in the West. And of course, the other day on my way through the Nether network, I noticed something strange on the path to Imako Mob Services. Yes, right here. It had been blocked off, according to the sign by the order of Burko, which seems interesting. For safety complaints. I think that is unacceptable. Oh, and I see that the sign has been blown off as well, potentially in the creeper explosion. Will also have to be remedied. I see there are some serious problems here at Imako Mob Services. But here we go. Yet again, an ill mango design is simple mob farm. And boy oh boy, does it work well. Give you a brief tour, actually. So we can come up here, and you can see the spawning platforms. Half covered in water, half not. Uses a flushing mechanism. And up here is our AFK spot. You can simply turn the farm on, which activates a redstone clock down there, which activates the flushing. And we can AFK here, and get all sorts of mobs. After you've AFK'd here a little bit, you just come down here and do a lovely water drop. Ta-da! Quite simple. The drops are collected down here, which, man, there's a lot of damage. Loads, loads, and loads of gunpowder. All this stuff is free for people to come and get, but I guess they've been having issues with creepers and other mobs spawning down here, which is not lit up. I brought a bunch of torches to light it up, but perhaps I can take some inspiration from this lovely rock over here. I made it entirely mob-proof by covering it in slabs. Perhaps what I can do is replace all of this sand with smooth sandstone slabs. Well, I think this solves that problem. Everything's been half slabbed, making this entire island spawn-proof. We've still got our water drop here, and everything else. But now, this whole place is nice and smooth. In fact, we've even cleaned up all of the chests here, loaded up all the extra sand and sandstone into shulker boxes. And now we really have that nice, smooth look that I was going for. I've also preserved this water here that isn't quite behaving as it's supposed to. And I've even come along, fixed up down here, put these chests back in place, and everything is working wonderfully. So I think there is no chance for any more complaints here. Immabed Mob Services is officially finished, I would say. It is in complete working order. So, that's another project done. Well, my friends, I don't think we're going to get any more complaints over at Immabed Mob Services. That whole situation should be fully sorted out now. But this is all the time I have for today. Thanks for watching, my friends. Hit that like button, smash that jingle jangle bell, subscribe, and I'll smell you all in the next episode. We can't close down Immabed Mob Services for infection.
That's illegal. It's illegal.